I make quick tips and tricks. That means on this channel, I'm not gonna be wasting your guys' time. On this channel, once a week, I give a shout out to a new subscriber. If you like, get a shout out. But if you didn't get a shout out but would like to give a shout out, I also do shout outs for those who donate, those who give me video ideas. And then also I do shout outs for shout outs. In this video, on this channel, in this video, I'll be hold on. In this video, I'll be telling you guys why I like to bring extra supplies when I go to the hospital. Almost forgot to mention, if you're a TLM fan or you just like what I do and you'd like to help donate, then I'll be leaving my Cash App link in the description because any donations will help out me and my father, especially since we're struggling trying to keep the house. So, and also any donations will help me continue making videos for you guys so I can pay for my editing plan. So anyways, so without more time wasted, let's begin. So I'm going to get my notes from my laptop, but first I need to fix this lens on here. This wide angle lens. There we go, a little better. All right. So no maid today, she's outside. So I want to talk to you guys about when I go sick, I like to bring extra supplies, and the reason I like to bring extra supplies to the hospital is, let me see. Okay, the reason why I like to bring extra supplies to the hospital, even though they have their own supplies, is because the supplies they have at the hospital, it's not what I get shipped to the house. Their catheters is completely different than what I use at the house. Their catheters for a straight cath is a flimsy rubber kind. If you guys know, then leave it in the comments below that you used them before and they really suck. They're the best one that I like to use is like the Rosalind. It's the red kind of catheters. That's the closest that's similar to mine, kind of, but it's rubber. Mine is plastic, so it's more stiffer. And the reason why it's important to have a stiffer catheter versus a flimsy one they have at the hospital is because it's easier to insert it if it's more stiffer versus a flimsy catheter. It's just hard to insert. Anyways, and what nurses, and you gotta let nurses know if you use a straight cath versus a kit, because nurses automatically is going to give you a kit. I do not like to use a kit. I'll be making a separate video about why, showing you guys difference between using a catheter kit and also using a hold on guys, let me check this out. Okay, so I'll be telling you, showing you guys me using a straight a catheter kit versus a straight cath, a single catheter, and showing you like the time difference, like how quick it is using each one and why I prefer just a straight cath. So yeah, you gotta let nurses know that you like to use a straight cath if you do use a straight cath, because they're just automatically going to give you a kit. It's not necessary to have everything in the kits. It's just stupid. Anyways, and let me tell you guys a story. And for those that don't know, Mondays, it's almost like story time. So Mondays, I do not do shout outs. I do not do shout outs for those who donate. So Friday is coming. If you guys would like to help donate and like to subscribe, you could do it now, because Wednesday I record the video and I upload on Friday. So any donations will be very much appreciated. Anyways, so I'll be telling you guys a story about a male nurse when I told him that I prefer using a straight cath instead of a kit. And he was telling me that, oh, it's because you're not used to using a catheter kit. And because I was in the hospital like 6-7 months ago for my wound flap infection. It got infected again, and so I was bedbound and I was at the hospital for a month. And I get irritated at nurses in general, especially being in the hospital that long. I get irritated. Anyways, so I was telling him that I don't like to use these kits because he gave me a catheter kit, and he was like, "Oh, it's because you're not used to it." And I told him that no, it's because I have my own technique of how to use a straight cath, and that's why I haven't got a UTI. But when I'm in the hospital, I get UTIs because I use the kits. And the difference between a kit and how I do it, and I made a video about how I cath. I could make more videos about it if anybody's still curious or still have questions. So how I use a straight cath is I use a wrapper to feed it through. I do not use gloves. That's why I don't use a glove on my right hand because I feed it through with a wrapper. Versus a straight cath, they'll teach you a clean glove, dirty glove, BS. You're touching the catheter regardless, so you're going to get UTIs. Like the wrapper, it's more sanitary. Because it's from the factory versus a glove. Like yeah, it came from the factory or whatever, but you're still touching it. But anyways, so I was telling him that that's the first thing I've learned in rehab is using a kit. So I know how to use a kit. It's just I don't prefer using it. It just takes too long. The stuff in it, you do not need all the stuff that's in it. So that's the story on him, and it really irritates me when nurses like try to tell me how to do certain things when they're not the one that has to do this every day. Like I cath more I cath more than what they do, like inserting in a patient. So I have more experience cathing than what they do, you know, because I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. So I do this like 4 times a day, you know, every day. So I have way more experience than nurses. So yeah. So whenever I'm in the hospital, I get UTIs because I use the kits and it really sucks. And I can make a separate video if you guys are curious, how I know when I get UTIs. So, yeah. And another thing I like to bring besides catheters, like extra catheters, um, is I like to bring extra diapers. And the reason why I like to bring extra diapers, even though they have their own diapers, is because they don't have pull-ups at the hospital. So they have like those blue, like those foldable, regular diapers they use on babies, the one that like not velcros, but sticks together. So they use those for people who can't move for themselves, but I'm pretty independent. I could move myself around easily. I don't need a the blue diapers, the diapers they have at the hospital. It's one of those things where they flip the patient to one side. They'll take off one side of the diaper or put it on, and they'll flip the patient on the other side. Do the same thing, take it off or on. I don't need to be flipped around to put on a diaper. I rather just pull it on me like underwears, but it's not underwears. It's pull-ups. I'm pretty sure everybody know what pull-ups are. So anyways, so that's why I prefer pull-ups, and that's why I like to bring my own diapers when I go to the hospital, because they don't have the kind that I use. Same with catheters. I'm more comfortable and more used to certain things, and the reason why I need diapers at the hospitals, I don't wear diapers, by the way. The reason why I wear diapers at the hospital is because being pumped with IV, I get accidents a lot. I pee myself a lot. And then also, like whatever they give me through medication, I end up getting diarrhea. I don't get diarrhea. Like being paralyzed, I used to be lactose. All of a sudden, I'm not. Like probably because I can't feel my stomach. I don't know. Anyways, so I like to bring my own diapers because of that. Uh, and whenever I do run out of diapers at the hospital, my dad always drives to the house, picks up a bunch of supplies, even catheters, and takes it to the hospital. And for those that don't know, in my area, I'm not going to say, it's a small town, or it's ghetto. It was we don't have good hospitals here. So my dad has to drive 2 hours to go to a hospital, even if I'm just getting sick. Like, I don't know, being paralyzed, you don't know what you're getting sick from. It's a guessing game, just like a baby. You're guessing, okay, are they hungry? Do they need their diaper changed? Are they tired? Same thing being paralyzed. Okay, does he have a pressure sore? Okay, he doesn't, because if you have a pressure sore, you get infection. So you got to check if you have any open wounds. Any little open wound, you could get sick, especially being paralyzed. So okay, does he have a UTI? Okay, like, is it just a regular flu? Is it COVID? I had COVID twice, by the way. You know, Also, if you have a wound, is it big enough to get a bone infection? Or is it bacteria in your stomach? These are the things that I personally went through. Having getting sick from pressure sore, having a bone infection, UTIs, bacteria in my stomach from being backed up. So make sure you always do your bowel movement. So if you're constipated, bacteria could build up. And then also, I had COVID twice. So it's always a guessing game. And most of these I had all at once. So I had to be on multiple, like, I even had a pick line on my arm. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, it's a long needle that goes all the way in here to the heart area. Or where's the heart? It was, yeah, I have no heart. I just play. But yeah, so it's a guessing game when you get sick. So I could it's even if it's just like a regular flu, it's better to just go to the hospital that's far out, because if it's like something more serious that involves the wound flap, which I went through 3 surgeries for, they're just going to transfer me to the hospital anyways, because they're the one that did surgery. So it's just better just go to that one hospital 2 hours away versus the ghetto hospital here in my town. Anyways, being in the hospital, yes, I like to bring my medications, but when you go to the hospital, you cannot, when you get when you sign in, like, you have your bed or whatever. I forgot what it's called. When anyways, when you get your own bed or room or whatever in the hospital, you cannot bring your own medications. Any outside meds you cannot bring. Is because that they don't want to be held accountable if anything happens from whatever you take. So they like to give you what they give you, and also because they have their own time schedule and stuff like that. Um, but when you're in the waiting room, you can use your own medications. I like to bring my own medications. Be in the waiting room. I'm there for like 8 hours, and find out, it's just a regular flu, but most cases it's an infection. Um, but yeah, but speaking of nurses giving you things on their own time, let nurses know your schedule for when you take your medications, because they're just going to mess up your whole schedule. Being paralyzed, we have our own schedule. If you're new, you're probably still learning, but yeah, so I have my own schedule when I take my medications. I usually just take my meds like when I wake up, but I'm supposed to take them at 6 when I get up to cath. I take them at 6, my morning meds, uh, for pain, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. And then I take my afternoon meds, which is around 2 p.m. Uh, oh, and then I take my gabapentin at 12, and then I take my um night kind of meds, not really nighttime meds, but hold on, let me explain. So at 6 p.m. I take all the meds again, but at nighttime at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. at nighttime. Anyways, I take my sleeping meds to knock me out, because I'll just stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning. So anyways, very important. Let nurses know your schedule, and the reason why it's important to stay on your schedule is because when you get discharged, it's more easy to get back on your schedule if you're taking your meds at the same time still. So yeah, let nurses know. And then also, speaking of letting nurses know, I told a nurse that I don't want to be taking my night meds at like 8 p.m. or whenever the last shift was. And she was like, why don't you want to take your mirtazapine? And I was trying to tell her that it'll knock me out in like 30 minutes. So they're there doing my vitals and stuff, and I'm there like dazing out, like I'm about to go to sleep, because they gave it to me early, and I'm trying to stay up while they're doing, like, all these vitals and stuff like that. And so it's hard for me to stay awake when doing all that. So I tell them that I like to take it before I go to bed, and they're like saying, okay, like don't like, nurses irritate me. That's why I have so much hatred towards nurses. Like, shut up. I'm the one taking the meds. I'm the one paralyzed. You're not. I have to do this every day. You're not. I know what works for me. Same with other paras. They know what works for them. So don't make us sound stupid. Anyways, um, I think that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it for this video. So let me see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I like to bring my own supplies, because they don't have their own supplies. Then sometimes they could be like, depending on the floor you're at, they won't have certain catheters. Like Alexander Soto, my para friend, there's a nurse that doesn't have at the place he was at, they ran out of catheters, so and let me tell you a story about that. I already mentioned my last live video, I believe, where he tried to ask the nurse, okay, let me use Foley catheter, the one where they inflate a balloon or whatever. And she was like, he was saying, I'll just use a Foley catheter or whatever to cath. And she's like, oh no, you can't use that. It's like, dude, shut up. It's the same way to cath, like, we have our own ways, like they go off of books, it's like, oh, that's not in the books. You cannot do that. Like, shut up. So anyways, so yeah, like I said, this Friday, I'll be making a video comparing and showing you guys if I have the kits still. I gotta check around, see if I have any kits still when I was in the hospital. But I'll be comparing like and showing you guys the time difference between using a catheter kit and also using a straight cath, and why I like to use a straight cath versus the kit. So stay tuned for that on Fridays. And like I said, every Mondays, I'm going to try to go live. And it's pretty much like a story time. It's not really like showing you guys things. So, um, yeah, anyways, as a reminder, Friday, I'll be doing a shout out for a new subscriber, and also any of those that donate. And if you're a T-Lamb fan or just like what I do, and you would like to help donate, then I'll be leaving my Cash App in the link description. Like I said, any donations will help out me and my father with the house, because we're almost losing it. So I don't know where I'm gonna go, and I don't want my dad struggling with money, and I just wish the best for my dad. And it's really hard for my dad. He has cancer, and it's just hard for him already, and the drama he's going through, it just sucks. So anything will really help. So I really appreciate it. It'd be interesting to see what the catheter kits look like. Oh, appreciate it, Philipsar. That's my buddy, by the way. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. As always, stay humble. Till next time. Bye.